unless you completely hate. Oh, don't get me wrong, there are some weak episodes. Heavens. Not that one. Oh, don't get me wrong, there are some bad episodes. But doesn't mean the whole thing's bad. Okay, yeah, the series. Don't mean I'm giving my opinions and my objectives side of the stuff. So without further ado, Series 9's rankings. So prefer under the latter of which I prefer to the former. I think that Doctor's Medication was a better episode to prologue. Prick. The latter of which I believe was better. Um, both of them are both episode. Both of them are both pro. There was also one prequel for Series 8, which I haven't reviewed yet, but actually I'll cut that. I'll come back to that. Excuse me. So, without further ado, there are three. So, number 11. So, we'll start with 11. And, well, if you hadn't gone so... Not to mention wrapping up a pretty poor... the Timeless Child Act hasn't even finished yet, but even that... And B... what we have learnt about it has actually come to more, or at least not pisses people, or at least not people. And that's just the least of it. So, hell, worst episode of the series, and it's probably also the worst episode. So Heaven Sent, as Heaven Sent poorly set up the series, as Heaven. That one might have been able to. So he might have, but even it didn't do stupid stuff like the Daleks inside. But I also didn't mention this, but I'm not really a fan of Davros opening his eyes. I'm also compared to the whole stuff as I'm sure Bethany Black. Sorry, so much for regret. But yeah, ultimately the story itself didn't quite work too brilliantly for me, and it was effectively done, but I don't think it was a well affected story. I don't think. Moving on to number 8. This is the following episode. We're now into good territory. We're now into really good territory, but it's a quite a fun, enjoyable. There are some. And Revolution of the Daleks will not be on the Series 12 episode. Okay, the box set came out too early for Revolution of the Daleks, but Resolution, they could have snuck it on. Anyway, moving on to number 6. But that first half and the emotion that merged into the emotion from the Catherine Jenner is notable for writing. Catherine Jenner does a great episode. Besides that, the sci-fi angle and the time travel stuff. Okay, you can do a big one as long as it's not an essay. And I mean a small summary. Please don't put any essays. Just do a small summary. Moving on to number 5. Moving on to number 5. Now, this episode also. Moving on to number 5. Now, these two episodes also had great drama. This time, I think they managed to focus on what they needed to focus on more than the woman who lived. And Osgood C is the one who joins her at the end of the last episode. And Osgood, but we don't know about the other two. So I'm kind of predicting that the one who died was a Zygon because it wouldn't feel right. So I thought it would have been. So that's why Zygon Invasion isn't as great as I think it could have been, because. So I think this story would have been. I've got that right here. Yeah. But once we get to even Magician's Apprentice or the pilot, but this definitely fits Chris. But with Under the Lake and the War number 3. They've got some of the best supporting characters of the series. They've got the best, so really great start. In fact, considering number 1 is, and yeah, and also my only real nitpick is that Colin McFarlane didn't get enough to do before his character anyway didn't get enough to do before they were killed off. But my only real criticism is that my only real issue is that I also like the fact that that brings me to number 1. And number 1, of course. And that brings me to number 1, of course, the best episode of Series 9. Well, if Hellbent is the worst episode of Series 9, then there's only really one. Sorry, hang on. The Hellbent of the series. The Hellbent, but. Its predecessor episode. Rachel Tilali proves as all 4 of her episodes. It's a simple but effective story. It works so well. And it works so well because you have a talented writer putting in no Hellbents, no more. We need heavens. And for me, I think, yes, this is definitely. As for me, well, I'll take the candy. I mean, as for me, I'll take the candy. I haven't had. As for me, well, I'm allergic to dairy, so I can't have the chocolates unless it's soya. So I'll just take the candy unless you've got any soy chocolate, in which case I'll take that as well. And that's this episode. Number 2, Before the Lake. Sorry. Number 2, Under the Lake. And although technically I am already done anyway. But you can check out the original reviews now. However, you can check out the original 2016 and 2017 reviews. However, you can check out the original reviews of this series released in 2016, 17, and 18, or 2017 and 18, actually. However, you can check out the original reviews that were released after the episode's broadcasts on this channel now. There is a playlist, go and check them out. I'll make a playlist for the original. There is a playlist, go check them out, and stay tuned for the revisitation, and the same for series 11 and 12. But stay tuned for the revisitation reviews of series 10, 11, and 12, starting with series 10, starting with the 2016 Christmas special, the first of the special, starting with the first series 10 special, the 2016 Christmas special, The Return of Dr. Mysterio. Don't forget to click below to subscribe to the Nicholas Payne bonus content YouTube channel.